Hey everyone, this is J-Dog, and I'm here with another video. So y'all remember the piece of garbage Harriet movie that bombed a while back? That was directed by Cassie Lemon, and starring Cynthia Erivo. Yeah, that piece of garbage film. You had that piece of garbage film star an individual who was not an foundational black American playing a foundational black American. This Cynthia Erivo has history of dissing foundational black Americans, and yet she was playing one. Very disturbing. And then you had people like Cassie Lemon, the director, and one of the producers, Deborah Chase, defending Cynthia Erivo's casting, and then the film bombed. Then you have the whole thing with the slave owner being the white savior, and then you had the fact that they made a fictional black man the main villain, called Bigger Long, who was not part of the history books, but that sounds like the name that you give some black porn star. Bigger Long. But anyway, the producer of the film, Harriet, was doing a Q&A after a screening of the Harriet movie at the school, and luckily the B1 Brigade showed up and exposed the producer for the stupidity of that film. Exposed all the flaws of that film. So we're gonna play this video.
Parents playing African American characters in the 60s. You see Denzel Washington playing Steve Biko. You see it with Idris Elba playing Nelson Mandela. And then I think it kind of came to a head with 12 Years a Slave, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Nyong'o playing African American characters, if we can call them that at that point. And then David Oyelowo, as Martin Luther King, and Carmen Ejogo as Coretta Scott King and Selma. So, with that kind of long historical backdrop and maybe your insight into the nature of the film industry.
I don't know who this guy is, but he's trying to make excuses for why Cynthia Erivo was being casted for the role. He's using other black people who play roles of characters of ethnicities that they were not to try to make excuses, like Idris Elba playing Nelson Mandela. I don't remember Idris Elba dissing South Africans. I don't remember people like Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker did play a Uganda president, but I don't remember Forrest Whitaker, an African American, dissing Ugandan citizens. But Cynthia Erivo had a history of dissing black Americans. Let's continue.
And also, John, if I could get you into this as well, thinking about this question of representation, because it seems to me that Erivo did a really brilliant job playing Harriet Tubman. But how do we think about these issues of representation and authenticity alongside acting as an art craft?
But acting is an art craft. And I think, my job as a filmmaker is to make the best movie possible. And with any movie, casting is critical. But with a biopic, you live and die on the ability of that lead actor to not only have the chops, to not only have some physical resemblance, but also to embody the essence of a person accurately. And so, Harriet Tubman was 5 feet tall. Cynthia Erivo was 5'1". Harriet Tubman was strong and had a physical presence. Cynthia, you feel like she's 60 feet tall. You never think of her as being that little. Cynthia Erivo is a graduate of the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, which is one of the best acting schools in the world. And she is spiritual. And she's talked about many times, playing this role got her further in touch with her own spirituality and faith and made that much stronger. There was no audition process. I went to go see The Color Purple on Broadway, and I saw her, and I was like...
Wait, did you hear that? No audition? So you just picked Cynthia Erivo out of the blue just because you saw her on Color Purple. Just because Cynthia Erivo did good on Broadway doesn't mean she was going to do better in film. So that tells you right there, they just picked her out of random, not even put up an audition, because I know there was probably plenty of black Americans who are foundational black American descendants of slaves that were actresses that could have done it. Viola Davis. People for years have said that if they were ever going to do a movie involving Harriet Tubman, they've said that people like Octavia Spencer, or even people, the one that they really wanted, Viola Davis. Everyone was rooting for Viola Davis to get the role. And she's a black American. But you gave it to a Nigerian British actress, who is known only for Broadway. No one really knew her except for if you pay attention to Broadway. Let me tell you something. Stage acting is a little bit different from acting in a film, Mrs. Chase. And the fact that not putting an audition, that means that you denied a whole lot of people who could have done a better job. Not to mention, the portrayal of Harriet in this movie is nothing like the real life person of Harriet Tubman. But let's continue on with this video.
This is it. This is my book. This is Harriet. And then I met with her about a week later, and we were in New York, and she walked in, and she's smart and passionate.
She wasn't that smart, dissing black Americans and then being on social media, and then people called her out. She even deleted the tweet. That shows you right there, Cynthia Erivo was not very smart. And let me tell you something, you're not very smart either, Mrs. Chase. So, like I said earlier, they did not do no audition. They just picked someone just to pick someone, not knowing if they were going to do a good or bad job. Not even try to find someone else for the role that could have been better, or someone who actually fits the description of the character, like the ethnicity, a black American. Continue on with the video.
And the poise and the self-confidence, but also, the commitment to her art were unmistakable. And I'm like, I'm done. And I introduced her to my producing partners, and mind you, we didn't have a script. This is about 2 years before we were ready the movie came together.
Wait a minute. No script? Really? You just gave her the role, and all of a sudden you started filming, but you didn't even get have her practice her lines. Wonder why some people thought that her acting was poor in that film. You didn't even give a script for her to practice to make sure she was going to do a good job. Because when I'm hearing that a lot of people thought that performance was planned. Now I know why people said that. You didn't even get her to practice. Make sure she got everything right. Glad I did not go see this retarded movie. Ugh. Continue on.
So she hung in there with us. She knew that this was her role in the same way that Denzel knew that Malcolm X was his role, and I don't want to deal with it. But she hung in there and believed that my producing partner, Danielle Capilano, would deliver the role and the movie and everything that goes along with it. So I just, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. And you have to go with what
Except you still didn't find the needle. Continue.
makes it right for the movie.
And, Donna, we had these discussions a while back. I was wondering as it is going to someone who studies this story, who studies these people and this experience, and also you think about how it is to us today. How did you view something like Cynthia Erivo in the role, what she does with the role, but also this question that I think has kind of animated a lot of people, but maybe hasn't been done with the same kind of historical record as it might be.
I agree exactly with Deborah Martin Jason said. So you have to go with the best person for the character, and it sounds like the process was natural. I mean, it was through.
Except you didn't pick the best person. You picked someone who's still green on doing films. Yeah, she may have done things great in Broadway, but she's never really done a film. Okay, actually she did. She was in a previous, actually 2 previous films. The Widows movie, which also failed and bombed. And then some other movie about some hotels. Okay, she did a couple films, but still, they said that a lot of those performances were also not good. That means she's still green. So you didn't really pick the best person, even if she's done films. She's still a little green in the film department of film.
Its own way, and you kind of have to lead with that. And she's well qualified. I think you're getting into nitty-gritty and particularities. And I would hate for us as a people to have those same kinds of discriminatory attitudes towards actors because they weren't born here or what have you.
We could have had Viola Davis, though. We could have had Viola Davis.
Now what you heard was a guy who just couldn't take it anymore, and shout out to that guy. I don't know his name, but shout out to that guy for finally telling the truth. Yes, Viola Davis was actually would have been a better choice. Matter of fact, a lot of people were hoping that she got picked the role. And then, of course, you have the guy trying to stop him and stuff like that. I think he's trying to cover for the mess that Chase is in. But let's continue on.
She wanted to part. She wanted to part. Thank you.
And you had also worked as a consultant on movies. I'm just wondering how, looking at that experience, but then also looking at this film, what are you seeing in kind of what it takes for an actor to play these roles?
I'm actually glad you asked that because I was thinking about asking you, Deborah, about what life was like on set. Because I was there for a lot of the taping for Roots, and the whipping scene day was powerful, it was emotional, and literally they were not making contact with the skin. It still felt as if this person was being whipped.
It was stupid. The movie was stupid.
The character who, I can't think of his name right now, but the character who was whipping, Kente, Toby, that whole scene, was ostracized from everybody afterwards. Like, people didn't want to talk to him, and it was just a weird sort of heaviness that happened around the set. And I was thinking about some of the scenes in this film, wondering how the actors engaged in, reenacting that experience. And I was wondering how they experienced this, because for some people, if you haven't studied, the institution of enslavement for 20, 30 years, you study for a part or a role, it's different to act it out and you have to experience it.
I think, we had just a really great casting group. And everybody, in this case, everybody had a mission to tell Harriet's story and tell it well. So even, Jennifer Nettles, who plays Eliza Rhodes, and is a Grammy-winning singer from Sugarland, this is her first movie. She wrote me the most beautiful letter and said, I read the script, I have to be in this movie. I think this movie is so important to, further communication among, people in this country, and I think by being in it, I can bring my fan base to the theater that might not come ordinarily. And it was just this gorgeous letter. And so then we auditioned her and crossed our fingers that she could act. And because you're like, this is the spirit that we want. So even, our most vile, in our case, character, everybody knew the spirit was gorgeous and she'd come to the movie for this mission. So, we bonded in a way that helped us through it.
And also, one of the things that is striking is one of the second times I saw it, unlike with 12 Years a Slave, you don't see, you know it's there and you see the evidence of violence against black people and black bodies. But what went into the choice of not showing that? Because I think you may have mentioned it already.
But just to reiterate, we went into this very consciously saying this was not a movie about slavery. I went into it saying.
Except the movie is about an African-American slave named Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman was an African-American slave who actually fought tooth and nail to get her freedom and even try to get other people to run away from the slave plantation. So yeah, that would make it a film about slavery. And I heard that they made one of the slave owners a freaking white savior, which is pretty stupid, because the slave owners were the real villains.
The audience has slave fatigue. Like, we don't want to see our feet get chopped off and bloodied back. We know it happened. We know how horrible it was. But no one fully talks about.
Except that's what happened in history. You have to talk about what actually happened in history. No matter how painful it is. Yeah, we don't want to see a lot of slave films. But at least tell one the correct way, the accurate history. Just why I like films like, if I do like a slave film, the only one I liked was Birth of a Nation. That told the whole truth. Yes, it told about had the pain, the beatings, the killings, the raping and stuff, but at least it also showed the accurate history of slavery and showed how people like Nat Turner actually fought back and rebelled against the slave masters. That's why the lamestream media, the racists, tried to sabotage that film. See, the only time that the people that are non-black will sabotage a slave film is if it talks about black people fighting back. The real Harriet Tubman was fighting against slavery, but you have her be saved by a slave owner, and the main villain being some fictional black bounty hunter. Let's continue.
The emotional damage, the families being split up, never to be seen again, and unfortunately, we're going through that in this country right now. You guys know here on the border here, and so just.
Why are you bringing up the immigrant situation? That has nothing to do with black people.
John and Harry.
If you was gonna bring up separation, why won't you bring up about how black people have having their kids separated and put in foster care by Child Protective Services, and then some of those split ups are shouldn't have never happened, and then how some black parents never get their kids back. Why don't you bring that up? No, you had to bring up something that has nothing to do with black Americans. Like what's going on with the immigration border. That has nothing to do with us. Why don't you bring up how black families are having their kids separated from black parents, falsely? Alright, let's continue.
Loved each other deeply, but they were separated, and he remarried. He said that line, "Embrace your heart. I would have died for you if you had let me." So we really, and I think, and to some extent, because we had the group of female filmmakers, it was really important for us to explore the emotional damage, the emotional abuse, because we've seen the physical abuse so much, and there was evidence. We're not trying to whitewash in any stretch of the imagination, but we just...
Yes, you did. You whitewashed it. You put in a white savior to save Harriet from a black male bounty hunter that was trying to kill her, and that black male bounty hunter did not exist. The real Harriet would kill the slave owner. Real Harriet was fighting mostly white slave owners. Yeah, you had a black snitch slave in history. Those guys did exist, but the bigger long character did not exist. And you made that character the main villain, not the white slave owners. So yes, you did whitewash the history of Harriet Tubman.
It becomes, I think 12 Years a Slave was a brilliant movie. It certainly deserved the Oscar. I will never watch it again. It was too painful. I could not.
This movie deserves nothing.
I can't watch it again. So, this was not that movie. We just made our own movie.
One of the things I like about that focus is that we are often played as victims, as helpless, as not strong, as not powerful. I really love this in Comic Flash, is that we had a value of our own souls, and I feel like the soul value of enslaved people came out in this film. And we saw it in the ways in which people followed Harriet, in the ways in which they went with her, they risked their lives. We don't see that on film often, particularly on film of enslavement. And so that was what was powerful for me, is the strength of the spirit, whether they were connected to a Christian God or not, but the strength of the soul is people who risked their lives. And then I love the Combahee River at the end, because many people don't know. 750 people in like a 2-day period, that Harriet Tubman was involved in that, and that she was a spy for the Union Army, and that she knew the landscape. She could follow and find out where the Confederate forces were, and let the military know about that, and plan this special sort of rescue mission in one or 2 days. That's powerful. A lot of people don't know that story. I think it's important to show the strength and the resilience of the African American spirit. So I really appreciate that about the film as well.
It's worth noting that one of the more radical political documents out of the latter half of the 20th century, black women who gathered at the Combahee River collector station. It was a direct nod to Harriet Tubman. And so I think it was really powerful to kind of bring that in. And I was really shook the first time I saw it. And it kind of raises a question too, and maybe Tasha, you might help us with this, given your work in the business side of things. I remember with Black Panther, there was this sense that, these kind of movies about black people can be successful, and then that can grow into other kinds of projects. And I think for the slave was also successful in that way. So what does this mean in terms of looking at it on that side?
I'd just like to say, first of all, congratulations on the film. It's brilliant. And bringing that story to the screen on
Of course, the white woman is going to congratulate this film.
Which has resulted in wonderful films like this, started decades ago with her focus on bringing just the narratives of real girls and women. In the first place, when I was growing up, you didn't even see that. You didn't see girls and women's stories, and you really pioneered that. How difficult was it to shift that landscape?
When I made The Princess Diaries, the general wisdom in Hollywood was that you could make a movie about for boys or for young men, and girls would come, but you couldn't make a to be successful. And we, and Princess Diaries happened for a number of reasons, relatively, and Legally Blonde happened the same year. And so the success, the big success of both of those movies opened a whole new genre. And I came back with Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, which has been a best-selling book. I don't know, I feel like I have my whole career to tell stories. That's why I got into business. So when I was growing up, I didn't see me.
I don't know why she's bringing up these other stuff.
I think we can maybe open it up for questions and audience. So remember, no taking the mic. 2 minutes. Let me off. And a question. Perfect.
I'm a first year MFA student in costume design.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you well.
Oh, sorry. I had a question for Deborah, and I'm a first year MFA costume design. From Chicago. She's a friend of Nina. She's a PhD student in the same department. My question is, what advice would you give to Black creatives in the entertainment business where like the only people know something really, and on the technical side?
Her question was about the technical side.
Behind the camera, what advice would you give to Black creatives on how to make it in Hollywood?
You know, well, listen, you're doing the right thing. I believe in education because there's skills that costume design is an amazing set of skills. You pretty much have to spend some time in Los Angeles though at the end of the day because it's about relationships, it's about information. It's about, just finding your.
The lesson should also be not to sell out. Unfortunately, a lot of them sell out, but yeah, that should also be a lesson, not to sell out and throw your own people under the bus. Continuing.
Get that first job in, and then, being able to move from there. But I'm so happy that you are exploring studying costume design because there are all these amazing careers behind the scenes that people don't really focus on. They tend to see director, they see writer, but Ruth Carter is a very good friend of mine. Look at what she's been able to do with costume design. A production design, editor, the movie is made in editing, right? At the end of the day. Composers, there's just so many great careers. And and many of them are not well integrated at this point. So I just encourage people to learn and make up. It's a huge profession and it's good work.
First off, a lot of people have said that Cynthia Erivo not because she's Cynthia Erivo, not because she's Jason Marks.
That's right. That's right. Tell it, bro.
I like what this guy is asking. See, I'm glad someone asked a real question in that, see, this guy is talking about how people did not like the casting of Cynthia Erivo. Not because she was Nigerian British, although we would prefer a black American who is ancestry go back to even before the slave time to have played the role. But see, another reason why people did not want Cynthia Erivo to be on the film was because of what she said about black Americans, about ADOS, about foundational black Americans, those whose ancestors are from the plantations. People like Harriet Tubman and all them. She talked all kinds of trash about us and our ancestors. And that she didn't have the same experience being as black Americans. And yet she was picked to play the role of a ADOS, of a foundational black American. That's why people were angry. Like I said before, yeah, Forrest Whitaker played a Uganda general / president of Uganda. Yeah, Denzel Washington played a South African named Steve Biko. Yeah, Chadwick Boseman played a fictional African king. But not once did I ever hear about them insulting Africans. Yeah, I don't remember them insulting African people, but I hear a lot of African actors, not all of them, but just some of them, or enough, talking trash about black people that are from here in the United States who are descendants of slaves, and yet they're playing us in films. Let's continue.
My question one is, were you aware of that, and why did you cast her after that? Why was it okay for you to include a black character named Bigger Long?
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
He sounds like somebody for the Houston Rock.
Right.
Now they're bringing up the Bigger Long character. Yes, I heard that he didn't even act like he was from the slave plantations. He acted like someone that was part of a porn film that was made here in 2019. Yeah, now they're calling her out, and rightfully so. Yeah, Mrs. Chase, when you was making this film, did you not think about these situations, Mrs. Chase? Did you not think about any of these freaking situations?
So why was it okay to include that? So people take liberties with historical facts. I know like a patriot, but they're not using those to offend. Black men.
That's right.
So I'm going to answer the first one, as I said. So the first one, as I said, we cast Cynthia Erivo because she was
No, she wasn't.
the best person for the role.
No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't.
I'm making the movie, so
She was not the best choice.
in my opinion.
Alright, yeah, you made the movie. Why don't you make it right? If you're doing a biopic on someone's actual history, you should have done the actual history. Made the movie right. Not make the movie with inaccurate historical moments and fiction and just whitewash everything. That's what you did. You did not tell the real truth about Harriet. If you're going to do a Harriet Tubman film, do it right.
Well, you didn't do your research.
That's exactly what she did not do, is her research on Harriet. Just made a bunch of stupid, whitewashed excuses.
You didn't do your research.
Listen, people grow. People learn. And Cynthia, if you just saw this movie, and you just saw this movie, and is there any doubt in your mind that she committed 1,000% to this character?
But she never apologized for her actions on social media. She deleted some of those comments, but she still never publicly and sincerely apologized for her actions. So, what, you said that playing an actual black American made her have a change of heart about black Americans? I don't see no proof in that. To make matters worse, I hear she's playing Aretha Franklin in an upcoming miniseries, which I will not be watching, and thank God that people are countering that, because Jennifer Hudson, an actual black American, is going to play Aretha Franklin in an actual film. A separate project from the miniseries. But I never heard any sincere apology from Cynthia Erivo apologizing for her actions.
There's no big alone. Who is big alone?
That's exactly right. Was no such black bounty hunter as Bigger Long, and why did you make him the main villain when the main villain of slavery was white racist slave owners? Yeah, there were house Negroes who betrayed other slaves, who were loyal to their masters, but that character did not exist in real life. You're doing a biopic.
Who is big alone? He's not even a part of history. He's not even a part of history. No, he's not. There wasn't no slave catch. We foundational black Americans. Ooh, she's hot, man. Ooh, she's hot, man. It ain't just our community. That's any community could do that. Any community could do that. That's a lot.
You see, they starting to make excuses for the Bigger Longer character being put in that movie. I mean, there may have been some points, but still, that's no excuse to make a fictional character that did not exist.
Oh, I'm leaving. I heard what I need to hear.
I would just say one other thing along those lines.
You know what? You need to shut the hell up. That's what you need to do. You are just as sorry as Mrs. Chase, this woman, and who I could care less about this woman right here. And shout out to those those brothers who called out this BS. This is just a bunch of BS. That movie was trash. Cynthia Erivo did not deserve to be picked in that role. You whitewashed Harriet Tubman's history. Not to mention, some of those producers and directors and other people on that film have a history of hating on black Americans and stuff like that. All I gotta say is, I'm glad that movie bombed. See, she's not explaining why that movie bombed. That movie did not make a lot of money. And yet, Cynthia Erivo is still possibly going to get awards, not because she's earned them, but just so they can rub it in our faces. So don't be surprised if Cynthia Erivo magically somehow still gets an Oscar. It won't be because she earned it. It'll be because they wanted to slap our faces, rub it in. This video was from the Black Dollar University YouTube channel. Check out their channel. They do a lot of good videos. I will leave you a link to this particular video. This is not the whole video. I'm only going to show you the parts I just need to show. Like the first 18 or 19 minutes of it. That's all that I needed to show you. If you want to watch the whole video, the 30-something minute video, I'll leave you the link in the description box and comment section. Also, I'll just leave you the link to the entire channel that I got this video from. It's from Black Dollar University. Check out their video. I want y'all to subscribe to them. Yeah, subscribe to Black Dollar University. They do some good content over there. So check out that channel and subscribe to them. Shout out to Black Dollar University for bringing this up. And speaking of that comment section, I want to know what y'all think in the comment section. I know this is probably going to most likely be one of my longest videos ever that is not a live stream. But it needed to be talked about. Deborah Chase, Cassie Lemon, and Cynthia Erivo are nothing but frauds and scam artists who are known to attack the black community, and they're black, but they are attacking black Americans using this movie, that garbage movie. Like I said, I want to know what y'all think in the comment section. Make sure you hit that like button. I really want y'all to hit that like button. That helps with the spreading of the notifications. Also, what helps is subscribing and hitting that notification so you know when I do another video. If you're not getting notifications, check on my channel every once in a while, and you'll be able to get a to see if I make a new video. Sometimes, if you're subscribed but still not getting notifications, unsubscribe and then resubscribe. Hit that subscribe button again, and then hit that notification, and that might reset, so you might be able to get notifications. But that's all I have to say for now. I might also leave links to different channels like my Black Junction and Black Shares that I also do videos there, in case if you're only watching this video on YouTube, and maybe some other channels. But that's all I have to say. This is J-Dog. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch y'all in another video. And shout out to those brothers who called out Deborah Chasing. But that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch y'all in another video. Peace, everyone.